everybody, this is Dana. I wanted to share with you today about Master Books American History for elementary students. This is suggested for grades 3 through 6, and it's broken up into 3 volumes, so you could do it over a 3-year period. The first book is Ancient Americas to the Great Gold Rush, and then we have the Civil War to the Industrial Revolution, and also early 1900s to the modern times. I think that the history curriculum is one of Master Books' best curriculum that I have used so far. Each volume has 28 chapters. And the chapters are all set up pretty similarly. Let's look at a sample chapter here. We have an introduction. We also have some questions to think about before we get started. The chapters also include a small timeline, and there are terms as well, and all of those terms are in the back in the glossary. There are narration breaks, so either you can use this as a read aloud or the student can read to a certain point. There's usually a map section and also a section that goes a little deeper into a certain part of the chapter. And then the last page of the chapter is a cultural connection. The author is bringing a connection between something that happened during this time period and more recent history, and also helping us think about how this applies to our lives today. And then we also have some review questions and some thoughts to go through to sum up the chapter. And all of the volumes are laid out the same way. This is the more recent history. There's the timeline and the narration breaks. Terms to know, the map page, a little excerpt about military jobs during World War II, and then the connection to today. You can use these as a read aloud, which is how I like to teach history. There's also a teacher's guide available, which is where the worksheets and questions are to review the chapter. If you need assessments for grades, that's where you would get those. And this is a cool idea. I didn't have the wall space for it, but you can buy timeline packs for each volume, and you can make a huge timeline on the wall, and each lesson you learn, you're adding a picture to the right date so that your kids can see the whole picture of history. And you can also use this for other subjects too, Bible, science, anything that has events that you want to remember where in history this happened. you can add to the timeline, which is a cool idea. And another thing that I really like about this curriculum is that the pictures are either historical photos, historical paintings, drawings, clip art. These volumes do not contain AI art, which unfortunately some of the newer books that are coming out in Master Books does contain AI pictures. I don't really like to call it art, but that's a different story for a different day. But if you're looking for a curriculum that does not contain AI generated images, these textbooks all have historical photos and drawings, which I really think is important so that we get the right picture of what history looked like in the different eras. One more thing that I really enjoy about Master Books history is that it is a very balanced view of history. It's not afraid to go into some of the difficult parts of America's history. It doesn't just gloss over and make everyone look like a hero and a perfect person. History is made up of people, and people aren't perfect, and people make wrong choices. And those wrong choices also affect our history. So I do enjoy how this curriculum is not afraid to go into some of the negatives of history, not into gory details, but just to point out that throughout all of the history of America and the world, starting with Adam and Eve, sin has affected our history. And also it is a biblical worldview talking about how through all of this, God is still in control and God is still in the process of redeeming people. So I hope this was a helpful review to you. And if you'd like to purchase some of these on Amazon, you can visit my storefront, which I will link. And also you can purchase it from Master Books, and they have their curriculum discounted most of the time. So check out this. This is one of my favorite products from Master Books.